All right, so Edvin, you want to show off your new spicy deck?
Yeah, this is I'm like my favorite decks are Invoked, Nekroz, and Synchro, like Junk Synchron specifically. And this is a combination between Young Doppel and Nekroz. So it sounds crazy, but you end on Quasar, Krystia, and basically a bunch of Nekroz monsters in your hand that you can just poop out the next turn and shit on your opponent's life. So yeah, it's pretty nuts, and of course, it uses Despots. So you got Despot, 003, and 001. So this one is full combo if you draw it. This one, you need an extender, but since ritual monsters are basically free, especially Necroz monsters are usually pretty free to get out. Well, I mean, it's pretty easy to get full combo anyway. So you got those. And then our secondary starter is Manju. These combos aren't as crazy, but you can still do a lot of stuff with this. Like you can still do Krystia combo and whatnot. And if you want to know how to do those, you can just look at old like Krystia Nekroz deck lists, which use this. We play one Shurit, because it's Shurit. He's good every now and then. I don't max out on him, I only play one, because in some scenarios it's actually a good extender that you need to make the combo work. But usually he's just like a good card. And then one Jet Synchron, because one card, Needle Fiber, or Halki Fibrax. Halki Fibrax. Yeah, and of course we play Link Rebo, so you just make this, so you just normal, link away for Link Rebo, effect, spec him back, and make Needle Fiber. This is Coltwing, Mecha Phantom Beast Coltwing. I don't have the card right now, so this is just proxy, but that's the card. And then for our last effect monster, or regular effect monster, we have Krystia. So this is Krystia. It's been the boss monster of Nekroz for a while. It helped it bubble at like a YCS about a year back or whatever, and it's still really good for the deck. And now that we can make it together with Quasar, it's even more insane. So one Trish, I decided to go with a 1 Trish ratio. I think it's the best one, honestly, especially for going first decks. Going second decks, running 2 is pretty good, but for going first decks, I think 1 is enough. 1 Valk, I wouldn't play more than 1, but I think if you don't do the entire regular combo, if you can't do full Quasar combo, you can at least do like a bunch of plussing off of it, and having this then hinders your opponent from just swinging into you, and then you can actually use the plussing that you did on the 3rd turn. And then triple Bryo. It's Bryo, it searches stuff, and it's great. 1 Unicorn, I wish we could have more, but 1 is all we have, unfortunately. Kloss, 2 is enough. You can play 3, but I think 2 is more than enough for most decks. And then 1 Saravis, because if we have an extra search for some reason, say we have full combo in the hand and we don't really need to search anything else, we just search a Saravis to top it off, just because he's an extra negate, and it's pretty decent. And then Benten to search our Krystia. Number of spells, we have Mirror, 1 Mirror, 2 Kaleido.
Only 1 mirror?
Yes, only 1 mirror. The number of mirrors equals your numbers of Trish. So because mirror is used for Trish almost exclusively. So basically, same amount of mirrors as you have Trish, and usually you only go for 1. And in this deck, I only go for 1, so well, 1 mirror. 2 Kaleido, because it's can be good in the grind game. This is more of a pseudo FTK deck, like a Break My Board deck, so it's not as heavy, but I think 2 is still good, and Cycle is Cycle, so 2. I just think it's the correct ratio. 3 Prep, because you want to search stuff. And this is a new card for the deck, or sort of new, since it was released from the ban list. Pot of Avarice. It can recycle a lot of your stuff, especially all the stuff that you dump from the extra deck, which means that you can basically get back stuff, do Unicorn combo again if you want to, and whatnot. So 3 of these. 3 Call to hinder hand traps. And then for 1-off spells, we play 1 Rhoda, 1 Monster Reborn, and 1 Foolish. So Rhoda searches Kloss or Shurit. Monster Reborn revives an extender if you need to, or whatever. And Foolish, well, it's Foolish. It can be used for combo. And then for the extra. So the king of the extra this time around is a Quasar. So he's serving both as your level 12 target for Kaleido and, well, as actual monsters that you make, which is crazy. Because the reason that I started building this was I saw that they were almost making a level 12 anyway. They could almost make Quasar most combos, but they just didn't do it. And I was like, well, you can play him anyway, usually in Nekroz, so why not try to make him? And, well, it's workable. So 1 of this, and then to accompany him as our level 10 target, we play Shooting Star. Now you could change this for Blazar if you want to. But since the opponent won't be summoning under Krystia anyway, and you're only going to really be making this when you have access to Krystia, I didn't feel like you needed to be able to negate a summon, so it made more sense to be able to only negate a card effect and hit more for OTKs, because you're going to be OTKing more with this. So these two for that. They'll play 1 Omega. You can dump him if need be, but most of the time you can make him as well if you want to make an 8. You play Savage. I sold my Savage, unfortunately, so I can't play Savage. But if you can't play Savage, you can play Savage. Bryo for a level 6. He comes in handy every now and then, but well, he's mostly just a target for Bryo, for Kaleido Bryo. So this is a bit weird. You can either play this card during combos, or you can dump him with your Kaleido when you're making Unicorn. And the reason we don't play Entes in this deck, because you can't have... Because you would end up in the combo, you would end up with 5 fairies in the grave, so you couldn't make Krystia. You need to have exactly 4. Therefore, well, you just send this instead. And so either you use it in combos, or you just send it for Kaleido, and you can still do Krystia combo. And then this allows us to do to make our Quasar, because it's a tuner. And then these guys are the star of this combo, really. They are not hard bronze per turn, which is crazy. They can be a Macrocosmos on legs, so these have so much utility in this deck. And in this deck in particular, it's so crazy because you can search, like you search your main engine with it, which is what makes them absolutely bonkers. So these are probably some of the best cards in the extra, and what makes this deck tick, really. So 3 of those, definitely. And then combo pieces, these 2, and if you open up Jet Synchron, you need this. So I'm going to show you the combo after we've looked at this. And then in here we got some cards. This one is not needed for any combo in particular, but it helps with Manju combos if you're sort of bricky hand. Same with this, and this one is used in the combo. And then just tokens. So let me show you the combo. It's a Needle Fiber combo, of course, since it utilizes desk bots. The only card you need is either opening up for this full combo, either opening up 001 and an extender like a Ritual Monster, or just 003. So you're going to go with 003. So you're going to normal this, and we're going to spec our 01. We're going to turn this into our Needle Fiber. Needle Fiber is going to spec back, we're going to spec rather, a 001. And we're going to send those to the grave to make our Auroradon. And so Auroradon is going to be speccing 3 tokens. Pop, pop, pop. 001, both of them are going to spec. Now we turn these 001s and 2 of our tokens into our first heralds. Now we overlay these and make any rank 4. I go with Nyarla because it's one of the ones I use for another combo, so you can just use any rank 4 here, it doesn't really matter, but I use this. Now we're going to use this effect, tributing off these monsters, so the token and our Nyarla in this case, to spec our Coltwing. So now it's going to trigger Chainlink 1, 2, and 3, so you Chainlink block, so you can't Ash you. So these ones, you search out your, let's see here, you search out your Unicorn, and you search out your Kaleidoscope. Make sure you're not holding the finger like that. Yeah, cool, awesome. Sorry, audio problems. Okay, so we search these, off of these, and now our Coltwing. So Coltwing effect gives us 2 tokens. And guess what? These guys are now spec'd back again, because they're not hard once per turn, which is insane. So these 2 get turned once again into level 4 Synchros. So we make a Quandax this time, and we also make our last, where is it? There we go, Herald. Now what we do is we activate our Kaleidoscope to make Unicorn, sending our extra 4, which is Cthugua in this case, into this. Overlay the Coltwing, which is now a 4 again. It used to be level 10 because of the tokens, but now it's a 4. Into these 2. Make ourselves a Dugaris. We can put him in defense or attack. I'm going to put him in defense just because I want to be safe. I'm going to use this effect to spec back a Herald. So now we have our Quasar set up here. We are not going to have a main phase, but that's not going to be a problem because we're going to be OTKing anyway, since they won't have a monster on the field and basically can't do anything. So, Herald and our Quandax into our Quasar. So now we have the Quasar. And now these two trigger our two arc lights. Searching us. Combo piece number 1. Combo piece number 2. Bryo discards itself. Adding a Colossus, which discards itself. Adding a Cycle. Cycle activates. Bringing Bryo back. Attribute to Benton. Benton effect. That's a Krystia. So, Alex, let's count how many fairies we got in the grave. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Nice.
And that makes Krystia. And now we can bring back 1. I'm just going to bring back Benton. And remember, you still have 4 cards in your hand with this board. So we have a negate. So since we don't need to negate summons, whatever, we have a negate and an OTK enabler. They can't summon anything. And these are just sort of big bodies and another one we can do something that we want to next turn. And you will probably have more Nekroz stuff in your hand, so you can Trish the opponent next turn if you want to, or whatever. So now you just play regular Nekroz. You used 1 card and turn it into 5 in this case. Now there are other combos where you can just go Mega Plus, but that's with Dragma and whatnot. And well, the allure of making both Quasar and Krystia in a Nekroz deck it was too much. It was just too cool not to do. So that's my Krystia Quasar Nekroz deck.
Just flex on them. Summoning Quasar in a ritual deck.
Yeah, summoning Quasar in a ritual deck is as crazy as it gets. But then putting Krystia on top of that, yeah, I don't think it gets any better than that. Yeah, I don't think anyone could have foreseen that Deskbots and Nekroz would be such good bedfellows. But here we are, and the combo is absolutely crazy. We can abuse this so much, and I think this deck is pretty cool for what it does. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. Enjoy.